So we're joined once again by FC Isle of Man manager Lee Dixon. Well, Lee, it's obviously been well over a week now since your side were last in action. That draw that you had away at Droylsden, which you weren't part of, but it's been a long wait between matches once again as well. So how has everyone kind of kept their sharpness up since that draw at Droylsden?
Obviously, we've been training as normal, Rob. It's obviously always hard. It's always hard having big gaps between the games at the start of the season, but we try to treat it as being a beneficial thing to us, because it allowed us to have little 2-game spurts with gaps in between. So I think I mentioned in previous interviews about trying to make sure we didn't pick up too many injuries and the load wasn't too much for the lads. And obviously then it would have a knock-on effect going into the sort of first 15 games. And so obviously we're going to find that out over the next sort of 4 games. We'll probably see the fruition of that. And we've kept training, and that's all you can do. We've obviously pushed the lads a little bit harder than what we would have had we been playing every Saturday, Tuesday instead of these big gaps. So yeah, we're in good shape at the minute. We've had a couple of little niggles this week, but nothing major, and hopefully it'll have no impact on the performance come Saturday.
How important has it been to kind of keep those training regimes up, given the fact that you've already said going into the season you didn't really have much in the way of match practice in pre-season?
Well, no, I mean, this has been, I think I said it, these have been part of our pre-season games. I said to the lads the first 6 games was going to be part of our pre-season to catch up with everybody else, and luckily in the meantime our results have been relatively positive. It could have been the other way and we could have been making excuses about that again, but we're in a good place, and hopefully these next 2 games we can have very much of the same as what we've already had, and we're still in there up the right end of the table fighting and giving us something then to cling on to and go forward for the rest of the season.
And this weekend coming up against Trafford, completely new opposition to what FC Isle of Man has faced in previous seasons as well. So how do you approach coming up against a complete unknown this weekend?
Well, we go about it mostly by trying to ignore exactly what you've just said. We just need to deal with ourselves, be good at what we're good at, play to the strengths of what we have, and then obviously in the game, in minute by minute, we deal with what the opposition are going to offer. What I do know is they score a lot of goals. So they're obviously very aggressive attacking side who like to leave themselves potentially exposed for doing what we're good at on the break. And it'll become a game, it's like a game of chess. A team that scored as many goals as they have, obviously you don't do that unless you've got good attacking players and a good threat going forward. It's something we're going to have to be wary of, but I think in the previous games we've played teams that have got them threat and we've dealt with it really, really well, and we've adjusted within the games, and we've maybe not started so well against Droylsden, but when we come back into the game, when we reorganised ourselves, and I think we probably finished it stronger. I watched the game on the live stream, and if any team I think was going to win that game, it was going to be us by the end.
And obviously a Trafford side that came down from the NPL system last time around, they'll no doubt be keen to try and get back up as soon as they can. But what do you think your side can offer as a challenge to them this weekend?
We're a very robust, strong defensively. I've said in past times that can come undone at the drop of a hat. You can come away having lost 3 or 4-0 and have to start reevaluating. But I honestly believe in the first 4 games we've seen we're going about the reset a lot in the previous interviews and in the previous weeks, but I think you've seen the players have got a different focus. They want to work hard. They want to be difficult to beat and not give other teams much. They want to get into fights with them and try and outrun them and out compete them. And I think we're starting to just see little signs of that. And so I think what we offer is if they would beat us on Saturday, they're going to have to work extremely hard. And I fancy at the minute, I've said it to the players, if we perform in the correct way, I think we can take anyone on.
And just quickly as well, looking at the squad as well, obviously the last time we spoke was ahead of the Ramsbottom United game a little bit of a while back, and at that time particularly you had, well, near as makes no difference, a full squad available. How's the squad looking for this weekend?
Yeah, we've got a few lads missing. There's a few lads on holidays that are pre-planned from months ago. So we're not going to have a full quota. I think there's 2 lads missing out of the starting 11. They're both back for Tuesday night, and then there's a couple that can't travel on Tuesday because of work commitments. So at the minute, I feel like my job's getting done for me a little bit. As 1 or 2 disappear, it's allowing me to use other players that I want to give minutes to. And then on Tuesday, I'll lose another couple, and then the lads who've been away are coming back in. So at the minute, it feels like it's sort of equaling itself out really nicely. But I'm sure throughout the season, there'll be times when we don't have that volume of top players available, and things might look a little bit differently.
But just finally on that point, like you say, you may have certain first team players unavailable over the next 2 games, but does that open the door for other players who you've maybe seen throughout pre-season so far as well, and the efforts they put into maybe bring themselves into your thinking more regularly?
100%, Rob. Yeah, I said it to the lads. As one door opens, one door closes, another one opens for someone else. There's lads who've not had any minutes yet, and I felt really, really harsh on them because they were so good pre-season and their commitment levels have been so good. And I actually feel really guilty that the likes of your Jack Higginses, your Berrin Collies haven't had a lot more minutes than what they have. Berrin obviously went away at a really awkward time for him, and then he ended up not in the starting lineup like he had been pre-season, and he's sort of been suffering for that ever since. And he's a kid that there's absolutely no doubts about his potential going forward. He's going to play a major part for FC Alaman in the years to come, but he's just got to wait, be patient, bide his time. Jack Higgins is another phenomenal commitment all out through pre-season. Picked up a little knocks and issues around his bad break he had in his leg 18 months ago. And there's still a little bit of a thing overhanging for Jack. But like, again, he's at every training session. He's so committed. He's such a good team player. Brilliant to have around the squad. And at some point going forward, I'm sure he'll get his opportunity and hopefully he grabs it with both hands, and then that'll put someone else out the team and they'll have to work that little bit harder. And off the back of that, obviously, you get a little bit more of competition within the squad and it becomes healthier for us Saturday to Saturday.
Thank you for having the stamina to make it to the end of the Manx Radio Sportscast. You're clearly someone who has their eye on the ball at all times. Want to hear more about the latest sporting news across the Isle of Man and much more? Then might I recommend you take the plunge and subscribe to this series or a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so that, in a flash, all of our finest moments take a winner's place on your smartphone. Thank you.